June 3rd, June 4th, depending on where you are on this star that we call this earth realm. I'm Chastia, and I want to show you real quick. Man, I got all kinds of energy coming through me. We might even have to do a breathing technique before I get started. We're going to talk about where the sun and the moon are right now, and we're going to talk about what those degrees are in the house of Gemini and in the house of Sagittarius. What type of energy is at 12 to 13 degrees? So if you've already pulled your chart, then get out your numbers, get out your piece of paper, because I'm going to be giving you more information about number 6, which is where the sun is right now, and number 24 and number 25, which is where the moon is in between right now. But first of all, I want to say, COHUE 32, we're having a secret sale for all our friends and family. It's the full moon. So over at COHUE 32, around the full moon, or get connected and we'll let you know when those secret sales are. But right now, what I want to show y'all real quick is this is the chili pepper. And let me tell y'all, I love this outfit. I love, love, love this outfit. Let me see if I need to go back further. I should have closed the bathroom door. Look at there. I'm trying real hard. It has a waistband over here, okay? And this is a small, and it's super stretchy. This is 2 pieces. And what I want to show you as I walk over here to close my bathroom door is the pants. They're like it really is like a skirt with feet, and it has become one of my absolute favorite outfits to throw on, and it is on sale. And I have both of the necklaces on. They're on sale, and they're here so they can get to you fast as far as the necklaces. So check it out today. Now, I started doing this last year. If you go and watch from a year ago, when I started talking about and setting up the channel and getting you teaching materials, and that's how long my team's been building all of this, of course, because it didn't just come from nowhere. And when I started teaching you guys about Gemini, I got myself in a world of trouble. I did. Now, as a spiritual being down here, that is especially coming to learn how to and remember how to and is here for a bridge to the collective with these ancient roots that I'm talking to you about in number 6, which is raw consciousness, and Gemini connected into Sagittarius with Egyptian. This has to do with any type of mummification, throughout history, any type of sacrifice throughout history. It just depends on your lineage, which piece of it you're in. Now, how did I get myself in a lot of trouble? It was a lesson, is what it was. And we weren't, it was our first year doing it. So, this is why tarot card readers and this is why other spiritual practitioners will tell you, when you get in the game, get ready. When you get in the game, and I think Natalie on Inspired Alignment, she made a comment about this, like who's left, who didn't leave the building on YouTube since 2018, who kept their face, who kept showing up, how many left the building? Because whenever you start sharing all this information and when you connect with the collective energy, which is what it is, and it's like until we master Gemini and this current that I'm telling you right now that the entire collective is going through every year, because you're really carrying the collective, if you will, kind of on Not even on your back, because that's on turtle. You got it first. You got to become the turtle to get it on your back. And that's what's happening right now in Gemini. And so what happened last year is that the beings, the groups, the organizations, the societies that together in one form or another, whether it be religion of some sort or just moon magic or just sex magic, whatever that organization was using the moon, a cosmic alignment for, to the stars. So NASA, and this is anybody that's dealing with the star connections and with traveling in space, or anything like that. That is the connection that's happening with the collective and the Earth, because over in Ophiuchus 2, which is right on the other side of where this full moon is. So my hands are the moon. My head is Ophiuchus 2. The moon is right here, right now. Well, it's traveling. It's traveling through. I'm going to show you the energies that it's going to hit. So that, but when the moon gets 12 to 13 degrees, that's where it's going to hit this connection directly right here. Okay? 12 to 13 degrees isn't a star point. It's in between two star points. Now the moon travels fast, right? The moon goes through 2.5 houses. It takes 2.5 days for the moon to go through the house, any house. So last night when we went to sleep, the moon was traveling through Scorpio 2, energy number 22. And Scorpio 2 energy is an alchemy, like a blue and green energy. And it's the collective wave runner. So if the energy kind of dipped last night, or we've had some reports that the babies were cranky, well, this is why. Because that collective energy current that was up, when it gets to 12 degrees Gemini, it starts going down, 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 down. Almost, because your etheric body is connected way up here when you come out of Aldebaran. When you come out of Aldebaran and Gemini, your etheric body is connected way up here in the purple energy, right? And that high frequency purple and blue energy. Well, it stays up there. It don't go back down. Your etheric body is still blown up. But then at 12 degrees, what happens? It goes red. So all the energies that are hanging out in purple, you're gonna go red. And everything's going to go sub. You still have that connection up there as long as you're connected and you're walking through. You still have it. But what you're doing right now is you're getting through the deep space in Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is one big ray. It gets to Gemini down here on Earth and it goes. And you can read about this on the blog. I posted it on the description. Go to the website, read the blog. It describes this, and getting up the Moses, Aldebaran, sitting on top of the mountain. That's Moses. And what are all the people doing? They're going in a circle. And then they built a golden calf and went in a circle. That's why he got so mad. He's like, what are the 10 commandments? Well, this is how I'm seeing the promised land, but you got to follow them. It's the same type stuff I'm telling you for how to do it in 5G energy grids. In a hybrid body. Same thing. But as a collective, what we now know is that we're connected back in and we're walking through the current together. And it don't matter who you are, this energy's hitting you. Because the sun's on it and the moon's on it. So the collective rave runner in Scorpio 2, that means that you're on the raft, you've already surfed the wave, and in fact, you've come out and you're pulling the wave with the collective, coming out of Scorpio. Scorpio's getting wings. What is Sagittarius? Fire. Fire. So as you come out of Scorpio and then as you enter into Sagittarius, what's it hitting? Vapor. Phoenix rising. What's it seeing? It's seeing what's going on in Gemini. It's Sagittarius. The moon's looking down at Gemini. And what's the Phoenix rising? It's you. Coming out of Aldebaran, hitting this raw degree and holding it at 14. Holding full projection, not getting trapped in this lower stuff down here. Well, this lower stuff down here is all the crazy stuff that you got to cut and get out of and master and da-da-da-da-da to get all these things that we think are like just normal little things out of your life that had this crazy energy and tension on it. In order to control your what? Gemini current from Sagittarius. Because we're setting up right now what's going on for the rest of the year. Trust that. So Ophiuchus 1 is where the moon was where the moon was traveling through, which is right here. It's over here in the house of Sagittarius. Ophiuchus 2, Ophiuchus 2, the very beginning degrees of Sagittarius. The moon is traveling through that earlier this morning. Now that energy is Ma'at. That's number 23. Pink and yellow, pink and yellow. This is why we want to think pink. Now, what do I mean by Ma'at? If you happen to have any energy in number 23, which is 0 to 5 degrees of Sagittarius, 0 to 5 degrees of Sagittarius is Ophiuchus 2, which is basically the laws of Ma'at, the consciousness of the Pharaoh. Not necessarily the Pharaoh, the consciousness of the Pharaoh. Why? Because when you have this frequency, you can read the fire. You can read the fire coming out of Scorpio. You can read the water. You actually know what it's saying to each other. You get crazy Japanese code like I did last year because it happened to be what was going on around all of us when they were doing this last year to the collective. And I was channeling and giving y'all all the Japanese codes and connecting the physics because someone had to. Because that's what was circling up around this time last year. What are you picking up when you have this information, depending on what planet you have in number 23, depending on if it's Venus or if it's Neptune or whatever it is in number 23? If you have that energy, that's what you're doing. You're reading the unseen, and you can control elemental forces the more that you connect into Ophiuchus 1, because you got to get through Sagittarius by getting through Gemini. You do the work now, Sagittarius is a breeze. You do the work now, Sagittarius is a breeze. Next year, you're running Gemini. This energy is described as the cosmic muse, cosmic scribe. Cosmic scribe, muse energy. Okay? Pink and yellow. Moon went through that this morning. Now, the full moon, no, Antares is where it is right now. It's in Antares. Antares is the archangel. Antares connects to Aldebaran, where the sun just went through right here. Aldebaran's the sun. Here was Hyades in Gemini. And then it goes through Aldebaran. That's that purple that I just told you about. And then it's going to go direct into 12 to 16 degrees, which is Ra, which is also Rajal. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in just a minute. That connection right here from Aldebaran over here to Antares goes straight across, and that is where we have an archangel point from here to here. AA, Antares to Aldebaran. On that other axis, this is Pisces to Virgo now. In the old count, it's Regulus. Is everybody waiting for that? Who's waiting for the RV? Regulus moved to Virgo. My point is, this full moon is happening right here at the at the deepest space out here on the other side of Antares. Antares over here is Uriel, and this is your left brain. It is militant. It's consciousness connections, but it is militant. It's left brain knowledge. It's deep, ancient 3D sets. It's cosmic grid connections. So it's all the highest thoughts and the all highest architecture and the highest physics and the highest blah, 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 of the entire collective that's running through the certain lines and families that have the ability to process that information, which is what this is all about. And it's left brain centered. Down here, and the problem was Michael got too left brain centered too. Michael forgot that you got to climb the mountain and then merge with the cosmos and change your way of thinking and remember that you can move the mountain, but it's really hard to do if you've been climbing that mountain over and over and over and over because it's kicked your butt so many times. How the heck are you going to admit that that mountain don't exist? Now this is mastery that we're talking about over here. Like none of this is easy. The good thing is you got time. The good thing is you're getting in the game. No matter. No matter. Because even right now with my hair, you know, it's like should I wash my hair? Y'all give me a thumbs up, please, please. We're working so hard over here. I don't know if you're seeing and watching us on TikTok and dailies and Instagram. Check out the dailies. We're coming on every morning telling you the energy. Because as a collective, if we run this right, man, this is what everybody wants to know. This is how you decorate new earth. This is how you do it. But together in a unison, we walk together these energetics. Certain seeds are going to get pinged in here. I don't know, where do you have stars? But no matter, when the sun's on these degrees, we're all feeling it because that's where we are in space. Because these suckers are moving around. Now, first of all, here's a pic I just got from the Netherlands of the moon. It's already out, so here's a preview of the. There it goes from the Netherlands. Thank you, Michelle, and my business partner for that. Now, what I came on here to show y'all is this is the chart of the stars. Okay. So these are the real names of the stars. Each see those you've got Jim da 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 da. See all this and this was actually I found this is the original list that is actually Thoth. Thoth led me to start Star Aeonomy that then ended up merging with Constellation Web. It really did to pull some of this information over. But my point is these are all the stars that go into the high eights. All these. All of them. Boom, 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 boom. When we talk about the high eights, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 stars. You know, one of them's called Prima high eights. You know, the whole 100 and the Prima and Prima and the whole little freaking port that goes right here. I had that. That whole and that promise and that's where that word comes from. That's where that stuff even comes from. Now the next 3, there's 3 stars that then make up Aldebaran. Now the reason I'm showing you this is because then there's 3 stars that make up what I'm talking about right now, where the sun is and what we call over here at COHUE 32 raw consciousness. Now, what I want to show you is that what's happening is it's mirroring. You've got 5 stars, then you've got 3 stars that are Aldebaran in number 5. You've got 3 stars that are not and that are in Ra number 6, and then you have 11 that are Bellatrix, and then you've got 10 that are Beltigates. Okay, we'll do the math on that. 4, 3, 3. That's 10. Well, there's Beltagese. Bellatrix has one extra one. Bellatrix. But see, it goes from 3 to 10, 3 to 11. Okay? But not really. It's all adding up. As long as you don't lose yourself in Bellatrix. But you still got to get to Bellatrix. You still got to get here. Right now we're in the red. Okay? It's super freaking interesting. Now, why did I have to come on today and do this video? Because consciousness and telling everybody always saves our butt. Literally. And what I was shown is this list of stars. Now, what is raw consciousness? I want to really talk about what raw consciousness is because I renamed this system because it's really Rigel. Now, this is where the lessons come in, and it's not that I renamed it. As far, I just didn't name it Rigel because Rigel is basically the deepest point in space that goes to Alpha Draconic Reptilian. Boom, boom, way out, way out. It is what it is. If you have that degree, you're an ancient for sure. You're connected over into Sagittarius because you're actually the one holding the form down here for all of us in Bellatrix or whatever to connect, which is what we're doing etherically when we put back together our etheric body with COHUE 32, so we can actually use the cosmos to create, and it's working, and it does work. So this energy is called an energy spirit magnet. Energy spirit magnet and cleanser. High house and star connections in lower densities. So kind of like Syrians can get a connection way low underwater. This energy gets it way down in the rock, way down in the dirt. Now, it's touching the water. That earthquake goes off, the water goes crazy too. It all works together, but this particular connection comes more from the fire, from the ash, from the knowledge. Even how bodies were put together, even the mummification processes, things like that. Those are the type of energetics that you hold, connected into Sagittarius, the entire realm. Now, the reason that I had to, so let me tell you real quick. Inside and Out. You remember that movie, Inside Out? That's his energy. Inside and out. Why? Because no matter if you birthed it up from the gates, man, you're all red, man. Your energy's all red, and you're like, why is no one happy? I just resurrected. Damn, what does a being have to do around here on earth? Resurrecting from the dead ain't enough anymore. If you're screaming that, then you came from the ground. If it's from the stars, okay, so if you came from the ground, then you've got a twig, but then when you get up here, you get your ass kicked for a little bit because you realize, oh my Lord, there's some star people that have been in my rings. And they know some stuff I don't know because I was buried underground. And that's what happened last year with us. Now, body to mind, because it's inside out. So by the time you're connected up here in Aldebaran, that's on the outside. Okay, you're in the spirit. You're even in the flow. You're even in the force, man. No matter what, you're in some type of group channel because it's coming. It just came out of Scorpio. It hit. You're in some type of wave. We're going. We're moving. We all are. We're creating these currents. What current are you in? I don't know. Wherever that current is, you're gonna whoop down 12 to 16 degrees, and then you're gonna mirror it. That connection, is it already birthed in you? I don't know. You'll find out. No matter, it has to be, because there has to be a planting and then there has to be a reaping. So I don't know. If you've been walking the collective journey with us, we've been doing all this work with Mars and Venus and all the crazy mess that's been going on with Gemini. If you haven't been connected into that, you're still getting it. But, oh, I just almost poked myself in the eye. Exactly. But you have to activate your other eye. There's another half that has to be done, probably, but inside out. Your inside's connected to your outside, and you're projecting not just to yourself. Because when you get to Bellatrix and Beltages, we're talking about to the masses. We're talking about promotions. We're talking about promoting celebrities. We're talking about how all this energy works in order to bridge and build those promotions. This is why Hollywood's not having these huge promotions anymore. We're governing the energy. We had to use it to heal everybody. Now we're telling you how to use it. This is why they wanted me unalived. Body to mind consciousness, complete, becoming a walking pharaoh, really, because what you're doing in Gemini is you're mastering the connection. It's much easier to channel Sagittarius when everyone's in Sagittarius. Can you channel Sagittarius while you're in Gemini? If you have number 6 raw energy, yep, that's what you're doing. Collective wisdom varies on subjects and is available. Like you have, you like me and my star energies, and I can channel this, but I can't channel it as deep as you, as the ones who have some of these connections. I see it as a web, and I see it as, okay, I can tell you the queens, the pharaohs and the queens, and why all the pyramids are set up, and blah 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 blah. But I do not know the alchemy per bit and pieces of what they used in the embalming ceremonies, and some of y'all do. I'll I could I can tell you why it was done. You can tell me what's in it. I can tell you why, because I know why it was done. I know the energy of it. I don't know every single step. This is what also is available in this energy. If you're trying to figure out something, if you're creating something, if it's like, what is the alchemical way to do this without this, without this, without this? Now's the time to be asking those questions, because now's the time that information is coming in to the collective. This is also Gaia auras. This is why we've got the auras and the friggin' lights going off everywhere, like it's freaking Alaska and Antarctica everywhere. That's why body, because those of us that are holding this energy from way down here, now we're holding it way up here, and it's like it's literally in a way coming through our etheric bodies, all connected in our different energies, and it's like showing up in the northern lights all over the place. So this energy is red and gold, okay? Like a deep red and gold. Now, what is at 13 degrees and 53 minutes of Gemini? And this is what I was shown this morning. It's a star called COHUE. Right there, COHUE. Now, and that is what it is. And there's even a reason that my hair is pulled back and it's a little bit dirty. You know which Hollywood stars and celebrities are channeling, or something was shown, or they were given some type of something in order to uh govern this specific energy? Because you'll notice that, well, a lot of them probably have dreadlocks. You'll notice that they don't wash their hair very much. They've made it really cool to be grunge. And then actually the more grungy cool, that like the more they don't shower, and but the more they kind of just decorate it out. For some reason we're like attracted to it. Well, that's because they're trained in how to alchemize and hold that energy in their physical vessel. And you can't wash your hair every day. You can't be a typical like Stepford wife white person and wash your hair every day and da 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 and da 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 every single day and complete this wheel. In fact, Now, I'm not saying be dirty. I'm not, take a bath. You might want to wash your, and we don't get like nasty. I'm just saying the people that are super duper 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 clean, what you're doing is the opposite of what this energy is here to do, because it needs to you have to connect. If you're washing it off and you're flushing it down the drain every day, and it is energy that all of us now know they do capture. They do want our bath water. They do. But this is why, because energetically you're washing it off. Well, because whenever you come out of Aldebaran, and then right now it's like, so if you're guided like, I'm just not gonna go out tonight. No, forget it. What am I really gonna get out of it? I'm just gonna stay home. I'm not gonna wash my hair. I'm right, and you're kind of like in. That's because right now you're connecting. You feel that you need to keep that energy on your body, because you're it's almost like a sonar echo chamber that's happening within the star system. That curse, if we know this year, there was one little bit of information, and this is always, when with these collective curses and this and that, and realize, you know we broke every curse on the planet. I mean, because this is different religions do this for different reasons. The cannibals do this for a different reason. The Templars do this for a different reason. Everybody's doing this to other groups for a different reason. What in the end, what you're doing is doing it to yourself, no matter. And so that's why it just stopped. But realize that behind the scenes, there are spiritual beings that, whether they're in the open or not, they are running this energy for the collective. And in fact, their goal is to run it for you and not for yourself. Now, the other thing about the Gemini energy, because if we're going through, let's flip it. If we're going through the house of Gemini, and we got the high aids right here, and this is number 4, so this is 3 to 5 degrees of Gemini is the high aids. Then you have Aldebaran, and this is that axis, and then we have Ra, that's going to start here at 12 degrees. Okay. So this point's going to go way out. Why? Because it's hitting way down. Dead on. It's got a connection. It's got a connection. So it pulls you. So you're at the you're in the arcane, you're like in the Milky Way. When you have this energy, it's why it's so you can't outsmart us angels, because we can run messages to anybody in the wheel through that purple network. Used to, the red would outweigh, because they didn't have pure beings in the purple. It's being run by red and blue. Now you got pure purple beings that red and blue can't even hit that purple. Is over here is like that color purple. Like, the only way you're gonna get to that color purple is go white. And trust me, they're too red and blue. They can't go white. You're gonna have to merge that to purple. You're gonna have to get to violet. Then you're gonna have to get to white. Then you're gonna have to put it back together to be able to manage the level of purple that's managing stuff now. But that's how it's. But each person can get to this level of purple, whether or not. But your chart's set up to do it, because that's how colors work together. But on this angle, this is why it's so powerful. Now imagine that it's far out, and this is all full, to where this is all empty. So you go from way up, and it's gonna feel like you go like that. Now, depending on who you are, and what your energetic is, and how much Sagittarius you have, or if you match your Gemini, and blah, blah, blah. But no matter, whenever you get through it to where you're finally becoming conscious and probably hearing this, because you're putting it together for the first time, just like we are, because now we've got the knowledge. what you're doing is threading, and this is, you're threading a needle, and it really is a freaking U-turn. It's a massive U-turn, because you go up high, and energetically, you, as high as you are, when that energy flips, you don't move. You're not moving. I'm not saying you fell. I'm saying now that energy's tuned backwards because you're the highest point. Now it's going to have to come and clear from the lowest, and then it's going to grow back up right here, and it's going to connect right here, right? That's how it works. Then you have 10 stars. Now you're ready to walk over to where there's no space in between, just for a minute, to get to Bellatrix, to catch your 10-star projection. Now you've got the base root, kind of like the Fibonacci sequence. Kind of like the Fibonacci sequence. That's what I'm seeing right now. Let's do that. If you think about the Fibonacci sequence in the house of Gemini, this side is the beginning. One, one, two. This side is three. Oh, sorry, my bad. Five, three, three. This side is the other side that mirrors it. 144, 288. It's coming from the same. This connection in between, boom, 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 over to Sagittarius on the other side. That's the clear projection to the other side. Now, back to this time of year. So what we weren't aware of is that there were certain, I don't even know, all types of different groups, from like the dragon orders all the way, because a lot of this was Melchizedek stuff, from which way that you turn it or spin it, that is information through religions and festivals and even holidays and all this stuff, but especially with the Indian culture, and what's been coming up, because 2017, when I blew out of the matrix, it was a race. Now, a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about, because you see these ops, or you see people around you, and you know that they're trying to prove against you or do this or do that. But I'm saying, in the beginning of 2017, whenever we blew out of the matrix for the first time, it was the entire Kabbalah, Indian culture. They had been training. This is what they gave their lives for, all their money, making their children study, 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 and was to be able to read that energy and to be where they needed to be, in the middle of a Kroger parking lot doing circles. Now, I was there naturally, because I was like, what the hell's going on? I'm getting guided because the message is going out. Get to Kroger, do circles. But in the middle, you see an Indian woman doing the same thing as the guy in the Matrix is sitting there taking notes on who's showing up. On the way to California, it was a race for a year and a half. It was a race. But we're the divine feminine connecting the planet. We're the divine feminine. It's a race. It's a race for you to become the planet. No, you can't become the planet. You're not the planet. You can't take that spiritual knowledge and outsmart the planet to get the body of the planet so that you can control the planet. It ain't how it works. The human collective is the planet. The planet is alive in all of us. We make the planet, especially some of our original ancient lines, which is why we had to come wake up again to rebirth this planet. And this is how we did it. Now, May, and I'm not even going to keep manifesting it, but there was a ceremony that started as a 13-day spell, and this was the only thing that I wasn't aware of last year. Now it makes a lot of sense. And if I go back and look at every year in May, how we're building up and everything's great, and I'm out here going, we're going to do it, we're going to do it, we're going to do it. And then come June, It's whiplash. Well, it's because of that collective whatever the F balls. And it's because right around this time is where you're going to get blinky blinky messages from people from India, weird Facebook stuff. They already did it to me today. They already sent me the blinky blinky strobe light thing. But see, whenever I was unaware and I popped up clean and free and clear and my energy blew out of the matrix February 28th, around that time, 2019, then, and I happened to answer a Facebook call, and there's a guy that's sitting in Egypt with 30 or something boys hovering over a hole, and they're all swaying, trying to project me into a hole, as this type of energy. Today they came in and tried to do some little blinky blinky. There's different because there was always this one little thing that you could do to certain ones of us that would make us revert back to whatever their record was, only because we'd never done it without falling on their old record. We were never powerful enough in spirit within ourselves and within the collective and connected together to where we're in such telepathy that one of us gets triggered and it's like, whoa, 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 I got the message. You might get tricked once. That's okay. I got tricked. I know now. I'm here teaching you. If you're getting this message, hopefully you don't have to do it. Just recognize that type stuff is going on right now because they're trying to get you where they got you before, right here at that connection. Why? Because it's going to go to the masses when we get to Bellatrix. You're the template. You control the projector. Now on the raw consciousness, I want to, where is that? How much time are we at? 42:11. Okay, 42:11. I want to, these are the questions. Now, those menus that are on the website, because once those are sold out, we're not printing those again for a long time because we're going to change the questions. But these are the questions. So this is 12 to 16 degrees Gemini, and it's in the header is the Egyptian root race. So here's some of the questions. How are you tied into Egypt? Which archetypes have you aligned your energies with on your journey? So people with this energy, Nefertiti, Cleopatra, Isis, Osiris, Horus, Thoth, they know all those characters, right? Egypt, Egypt was formed with Neptune and Sirius. So basically what we know is that Egypt was a program that we all went into so that we could remember our shadow when our shadow wasn't there. Egypt was a program for us to fight AI. And it was all happening at the same time, too. That's why Isis has a shadow on every single dimension, but it's still this dimension. You're still working with that dimension right now. That's my point. It was 2018 whenever I realized, oh crap, multidimensional. Okay, well, if I'm thinking of multidimensional and I work through the theory, which at that point I already had with whatever, and in my journey, and I was like, okay, and I'm having all these remembrances, and I know all this stuff, about body stuff with Egypt, which is how I know these things that I'm telling to you, these cosmic knowledge of the body. And so if I'm those characters in that timeline, I don't need to know what name I am. I'm just connect to it now. I command to connect to that character in that other dimension, because if there is no time, then I'm down there doing stuff right now to help me. Maybe it's why I was doing it all, because I was getting a message from my higher self to go do this and get everyone together and stand in a circle. So maybe I'm in Egypt because I am up here on land, possibly. And I was like, I connect. And I said, I stood up and because you just say it, just feel it. I connect and da-da-da. Changed my life. Changed right then. I powered up right then I stopped having to fight different battles and things. Now I was getting information, I was being shown, but I was no longer like in the thing because I finally connected myself with that was the secret. Like that was it. If you haven't done that and you've got this energy, do it right now. Or if you've got a lot of Sagittarius energy, do it right now. And connect to all your Gemini little people that you're governing down there. You know, it's kind of like that whole Ninaroo story. Wake up, Enlil. Wake up, Enoch. All your little soldiers are getting pissed off. You need to do something about it. If you have a ton of Sagittarius energy, all the little children are acting crazy down here on Earth. Wake up. Wake up. Don't allow them to do that. Now, I'm not telling you take control of their body and do some weird mumbo jumbo. Just be like, no. Stop acting like that. And you don't act like that. And you set a standard. And if it shows up in your life, then fight for what you know is right and say it's right. And you start taking back your little shadows in Gemini. Are you drawn to a certain part of the earth like a magnet? So I bet you right now with the collective, either everybody's moving around or everybody's sitting still. Give me a hands up if that's it. You're either going, 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 going right now, and you're like, oh my God, I'm everywhere. What is going on? I'm supposed to go here. I'm supposed to go here. I'm supposed to go here because the earth is going, I need your frequency right here. We need a connection. Oh, I just had a dream. We're supposed to go to the Appalachian Mountains. Pack your bags. I don't know. Spirit told me. Or you've already done that, or you're connected in a collective that's already done that for you. Just recognize somebody's already done that for you if you've never done it. And if you know you're not supposed to run around now. Maybe you're a sit and stiller. Just recognize and connect to all your ancestors and ask to be connected to all the ancestors that have walked this clearing before you so that you can ride on our back because that is what you should do. And when you accept this knowledge, it makes it so much easier. It's when we don't, and we're like, free will, free will. Yeah, you have free will, and you can definitely do whatever you want down here, but you can't do it on someone else's ass without their permission. When you travel and move from place to place, how does it affect your energy and how you feel? Because with this energy, you're like a meteor, boop, kind of affects space whenever you fall. This energy is also the same as Vega in Capricorn. Vega in Capricorn is 11 degrees and 55 minutes in Capricorn to 15 degrees and 55 minutes in Capricorn, which would tell you a little bit about Vega. Oh, it's going to be at 11:55. Oh, it's going to be at 15:55. Does that 5 minutes matter? Oh, in Vega, yeah. That 5 minutes matters. But Vega in and of itself is the deep, deep, deep. It's opposite Cancer. It's that water connection from water to Capricorn. So there's that water, that Syrian. So all the way underwater, and then you're vibrating and you're connecting to all the water, and then it goes all the way up to Capricorn. And Capricorn and Vega is hitting the deepest part in the middle of the Earth that's getting that blood charge, and it's like sucking up that blood charge, almost like a big old mosquito. And then at the same time, all the star system cosmic stuff, that's where the 22 star races and all that comes in Vega. So the energy makes you really, really dense, but you're able to hold a high frequency. But the thing is, with Vega, you attract low frequency things, just like an AB negative. Why? Because you can clean them. But the thing is, you feel like you're one of them. This is the same energy as this. When we get in this energy, it's like we all want to be like, oh, let's just chill. Let's just come on. Let's just get along. Come on, put your hands on that. Come on. Well, yeah, we want to do that. We want to do that. I mean, there's definitely no reason in making it more difficult. But we still have to like keep walking. We still have to keep moving just a little bit further. Do you know you are attached to the consciousness of ancient mummies in your line? If you are not a mummy yourself from Essene or Egypt, what's the difference? Cancer and Sagittarius. So Sagittarius beings that are going to hold this connection for the entire cosmos and the Metatron and the metaphysics and the AI projections from the most ancient, deep pieces, because it is. The more deep, the more compacted, the littlest people, we're the most powerful. Beware if you're 5'2", or if you have somebody 5'2" around you. It's a sign. The more compacted we are, we all got big feet too. Fred Flintstones, raise your hand. More compacted is like boom, it shoots out to everywhere. A scene is going to have more of a Cancer connection. Syrian connection was going to be your Yahshua, Yah, Yay, Mother Mary. The biblical timelines that are linked into Mother Mary and Sarah and Terah and back to the Irish and the connections that made Yahshua versus King Tut, but same person, same thing. Working in two different dimensions, the same as what I just explained about meeting myself over in Egypt. Same timeline, same story. The Essenes were mummified. Those civilization counts that came way after the mummies, but all the Essenes that were mummified in Nazarene, because this is Nazareth, Nazarene, the connections back into Christ. This is how the DNA lines were always laid. This is what the energy that my team and the organic teams read down here. It was literally our job to come put together the DNA on the planet. Comes from us reading all those Essenes and all those burial DNA that were mummified with intention, because we're pure spiritual beings and that's all we can read is intention. It's mind blowing what intention can do. It's mind blowing what even the most horrific things that were ever done, it's like you end up during something like this to find out why it was done, because the intention will be what holds in the end. Do you tend to be set in your ways? Do you tend to look at only the past to gain wisdom? Now, it'd be normal to think that way if you're an ancient. That's normal. You got all the Akashic libraries, so it always happened like this. This is always what happened next. This is what we do now. This is always what we do. I got a little story for this. I dated somebody, and his mom made this most amazing roast. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you, thank you. Made this most amazing roast, and I didn't learn how to cook. I was a corporate woman, right? Remember, I was in Fortune 100 and tech and all that. I mean, I got in my spiritual world because my company came and got sold, and I got cursed. Probably about right now in Gemini. Around 2012, most likely, or 11 or 10, somewhere around there. And then that's how my energies come through and put myself back through these things, which is why I know all this information. I can tell you because we've been living through it. So I don't know how to cook very good. Cooking wasn't one of my things, and I just kind of learned from you guys. Now I tune into my Akashic library. It's actually a really fun thing, and so I'm going to bring this up too while I'm telling the story. You want to test your ancestors' energy? Go in your kitchen. Go in your kitchen and say, ancestors, show me what to cook with what is in my kitchen, and say to yourself, get out of my way. I guarantee you. Now, you might take a minute and you might need to get a flow and you might need to go in the kitchen and go, oh, and like move your head, and you might need to jump up and down and go, oh, get out of my head, get out of my head. Tell me what to go grab, ancestors. I'm hungry. I'm going to make something. I'm going to do it with what's in my kitchen right now. Show me what you can show me. And when you hear lemon, go grab the lemon. And when you hear this, go grab the this. And then whenever you go mix it together and you're like, oh my God, if I mix this together, this is going to taste like shit. Trust what information you're getting. I guarantee you're going to make something that's delicious. You're going to learn something new no matter. And what you're doing is connected into your ancestors, and you're learning how they're speaking to you. Now, I call, because I do that now, but this is before because I was unconscious. So I call, so the story is all about the way that we did it before, the way we did it before. So she had this roast. So I call her up and I'm like, hey, I'm cooking a roast and I was in my house and I went all Susie Homemaker. This was like 2002. I'm just gonna get a house. I'm a corporate woman. I'm gonna get a house. I'm gonna get the pots and pans. I'm gonna have this little corporate life. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. How am I going to cook a roast now? So she says, okay, and I haven't called her yet. I asked the boy, and the boy, because I can't get a hold of the mom, and the boy's like, oh, we'll cut the ends off. Mom does it like this: you got to cut the ends off, and then you got to season it this way and this way, but you cut the ends off, and then you put it in the pan, and da 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 da. So I did that. I cut the ends off, and I might have said this story before. I cut the ends off the roast and I put it in the oven, right? And then we cook it and da da da. And I talked to the mom later on. I'm like, yeah, I cooked your roast thing. Why do we cut the ends off? And she almost peed her pants laughing on the phone, because the only reason that they cut the ends off is because they never had a big enough pan for as big of a roast that goes in the pan. So her sons remember that whole recipe, and they keep making this roast. And for how many years have they been doing it like mom did and cutting the ends off, wasting the meat, probably drying it out more than need to be. They've been doing it like that. All three sons, they've been making that roast, cutting the ends off over and over again, and it was all because they just didn't have a pot to put the roast in. But my point is, whenever everyone's watching you do something, and when people are in the shadows and you don't know why they're doing it, that becomes the problem. And that is why in this new energy, subconscious and intention, you cannot hide it. And it means everything. And this is how everything has consciousness, especially the next 3 years. Because the next 3 years, we're continuing this evolutionary process. The next 3 years, this is all going to be building back up again. And it's going to be here before you know it. And then we'll be to a point where all of this is merged together, and we'll have another, there'll be something else besides color, subliminal codes, and frequency. Now, the other thing with this energy that I'll talk about, and this is in Gemini with it coming through Sagittarius at this specific time, and this is all the time. This is all the time. But especially when we dip into these denser currents, you are subcurrent. And Florida had people drown. I saw it right before the video came on because of the subcurrents in the ocean. If you're swimming in the ocean, be careful right now. Be careful. We don't know where these subcurrents are just going to all of a sudden start warpulling and sucking. And we've been unpolling some of these energies in Florida, and so that is what's happening. And that's why last night this key came out of Texas. The storm, it just came right out. It lifted right up. It was pulling all that energy from Cuba, and then boom, Japan. It freaking just looked like a dragon. Yoko Ono, say hi, shot out of Japan last night. Now, all that energy is like it's still merging and pushing. And so this is what we're clearing right now, is that subcurrent. So when you're in a subcurrent, the vibration, any tone like that is gonna push off any low frequency quicker. And also you're laying tones almost, if you will, on this other side. And those tones are shooting up, and it's almost like the mothership up here, if you will, that's kind of that we're all connected in. It's like when you lift those tones, anything low frequency going around, you get the EBGBs. even this energy, if you haven't cleared Gemini energy before, your legs will feel like restless leg, like you want to come out of your body. Gemini energy and completely processing it does turn you into more mercurial. You have to, but it's part of the process of being able to hold everything. It's just how it is now because of how it was all done. But you are processing Mercury through your field. Know that if you are going through that right now, it'll only happen this first time. It's like once that energy process through, you're not going to have the restless leg. You're not going to feel like that anymore. Maybe a little bit, just enough to go, oh gosh, that's a little bit of it. But I mean, for a while when we processed this energy in 2017 with all Capricorn, the party in Capricorn, because it was square in Libra, and I had 6 houses. I have 6 planets in Libra. So this is that 2017 Capricorn lineup is what activated Libra and Aries to these, and that's whenever we were really bringing in that Gemini energy. And man, the it's like you're processing Mercury. So when you get something like that, or you feel like someone just sent you some weird blinky blinky or whatever, right now what our advice is and what we know about all this is, and that's it. That should solve the problem. So I'm going to let you guys go. Come visit us on the website. Come connect with us. Connect with us. Connect with us. I guarantee if you connect with us and say, hi, I'm so and so, and I'm from blah, blah, blah. You don't have to tell us the city. You don't want your street. You don't have to tell us that in the email. Just what state you're in. Let us know. We'll put you on the chart and our contact us page with COHUE 32. And we'll send you a list of the star points. It won't be all the colors. That's $4.44 because, it's kind of like, send us $4.44. We'll send you this. Oh, the lights just went out. Not even a lamp, the overhead light in the house. But the lamp's still on. The electricity's still on. Blinky, blinky. We'll send you a list. Connect with us. You can get your star points for free. Just connect.